Owning a website means that your website is constantly under attack. Yes, you have visitors that you want to go there, but there are some visitors you want to repel or even outright block. Today, we're going to take a look at Cloudflare. We're going to use a free account on how it can protect your website. Hi, my name is William Beam with Suburbia Press, and I'm using Cloudflare. I want to show you how to do it as well. I'm going to show you the features and the benefits you get from using Cloudflare to host your DNS and to protect your website. So one of the reasons I use Cloudflare is honestly, it is the fastest DNS out there. That is a very large site. They've got global stuff. They add Content Delivery Network or CDN to your website. It speeds up how you deliver your content to people all over the world. The problem with having a website is that people try to attack it. It doesn't matter if it's WordPress or Weebly, Wix, Squarespace, or something else. People are always trying to find out, how can I take over this website? How can I get insight? And then they want to use it for their own little purposes. Sometimes it's a contest or a game just to prove that they're, a hacker who can get in. Sometimes they want to use it to infest it with malware. They want to use it as a spam server, any number of reasons. You want to keep these people out. On WordPress, one of the traditional ways to do this is to use a plugin such as WordFence. I've used it before. I think it's a decent plugin. The problem with that is that your server has to do all the work to fight people off. It doesn't matter if it's bots or humans going in there, they get to your server. With Cloudflare, you can keep them on the edge before they even get to your web hosting or your server account. So that way, it saves you bandwidth, it saves you server resources like CPU and RAM, and you probably don't even need some of those plugins anymore. You can still use them for other purposes, but we'll get into that. Here's what I want to show you. Let's say that we go to my site, suburbiapress.com, that I have registered inside of Cloudflare. We're going to take a look at security. And later in this video, I'll show you how to add your domain. You can get a free account and do everything I show you here, you can do for free. This is showing the previous 24 hours. And over that period of time, I've had 891 different challenges or attacks. I've got different rules, and I'll show those to you so we can come back to this and see what they look like. But there are a couple things that turn on automatically. So if you come over here to bots, if this isn't on by default, it should be. But all you have to do is just toggle this little switch over here, and it's looking for patterns of known bots. Cloudflare knows because they deal with so much web traffic before they ever access your site. So it's looking at JavaScript detections, and you can click on this link and it'll show you what that really means. I also come down here to Scrape Shield. Now, hot link protection on the bottom is off by default. You have to turn this on. But what this does is it protects people from hot linking your images on your site. So why would they do that? Well, they want to show a photo on their website, but instead of downloading your photo or stealing it somehow and uploading it there, they're using your server, your bandwidth, and your resources to show on their site. So hot linking is something that you want to turn off. That'll save you some resources. Again, they no longer get to your site. If you've already had your site up for a while and you move to Cloudflare and you turn this on, it will suddenly disable that hot linking. So as they detect that people are trying to hot link your images, it'll just shut them right down. All right, let's go back up here to security. And we're going to look at this one called WAF. This is Web Application Firewall. You have 5 rules available, which is going to be more than enough. In fact, I could probably combine some of these things to maybe only use 2 of them. The reason I say that is because what really matters is the action. I can block or I can do a managed challenge, and there are other actions you can do as well. But for my own sanity, I've kind of combined these in this way. So if I look at this one for Protect WP, I'm using WordPress. I don't want visitors to go to this site, so I block them outright. Now keep in mind, that would also block me because nobody can go there without an exception. So if they go to this path, and you can see there's a number of different things they can do over here. You can block by country or continent. So if you want to block everybody in Europe, you could do that. I'm looking for one called URI path. And I'm selecting contains because I don't want to worry about the exact path. I just want to know that it contains WP admin, WP login. And I'm also including these, even though these are under WP admin, it's just to be safe. And if somebody goes to any one of these, I block them. Now you'll notice it says and over here and or down here. So when you're ready to do one, you can see over here it says and or. So if you want it to be this and something else, so if there's two conditions they have to match, you can use an and. But in my case, it's any one of these, so I'm using an or condition. So that's something important to keep in mind. And then you can just block these people from getting into the sensitive areas of your website. I also block some countries just without thought. I block China, I block the Russian Federation. Now, that's not to say that people can't get around that somehow. They can use a VPN that makes it look like they're coming from another country and they can still get in. But if they're using their IP address from their location, it blocks them. And some people are doing that because I see in my events that they're getting blocked. I have another one here called HTTP version. So if I look at this, a lot of bots are known to still use HTTP 1.0. And if they have that, I challenge them. I don't block this one because there are some people that still have older browsers. And if it's human, I want to let them in. If it's not, the challenge really looks at JavaScript and other things that it can detect. Is this somebody you want to let in or not? And you can tell by this activity over here. And again, this is for the last 24 hours. These are getting some activity. This one is not. This one is challenge threats. So Cloudflare has this thing called threat score. And the scores vary. Anything from 0 to 10, you're good. You're happy, you're safe, easy to go with. Between 10 and 40, you're kind of dodgy. 40 and above, you're known to be malicious. So I want to block anyone that's known to be malicious. But I don't think that this one is getting any traffic or as far as getting any traction because it is the last one I look at. I'm blocking people over here. So I've purposely decided I wanted to put my blocks first and these work down in order. So I could go ahead and put this one, grab these little things over here, and you can move this up over here. And that could be the first thing that happens. But I decided that's the last one I want to happen. It's kind of like a fallback for me. So these things are the most important to do some blocking. And then the managed challenges happen next. And this threat challenge is last. Because if they get through all of these, I want to see, are they still a threat? Fortunately, that hasn't happened. All right, so I said over here in Protect WP, I'm blocking everything. The exception happens over here in Tools. So I've got a rule down here. This is my IP version 6 IP address. This is for my home where I'm working. And for all websites in this account, I want to allow them. So if I go over to sign in to Suburbia Press, no problem. There it is. I can log in. But what happens if I get rid of this rule? So no IP access rules. Basically, nobody, not even me, can get in there now. So I can still come over here. And then you can see that I've been blocked. This is what happens to somebody that you block. You're unable to access this site. You've been blocked. It'll give them a little description of why. What can I do to resolve this? But that's what I'm doing. I'm blocking people that I don't want inside of my WordPress backend links. Now, if you're not using WordPress for some reason, there might be a login page for your Wix or Squarespace site or something of that nature. There might be other sensitive back-end pages you want to block. The same thing will work. So let's say that I come over here now and I want to add this back. Well, what's my IP address? I use this website called ipaddress.com. So let's just refresh that. It'll look to see what my current IP address is. Like most people working from home, I have a dynamic IP address. This changes from time to time. So there's the version 4 address. I want to use the version 5 address because I'm on a fiber line, and this is the one that we're getting in Cloudflare. If you don't have a version 6, don't worry about it. Just use the version 4. So I'll click this to copy it. I'll come back over here, and I'm going to type or paste this right in here. And it's very important, click this. If you skip clicking this step, it won't be there. And then you can choose an action I want to allow. And I want to allow it for all websites in this account. Then I click add. And now, again, this is my IP address. So if I come over here and try to refresh it, I can get back in. It's that simple. What does this do for me? Well, it means that if I travel someplace else, I'll need to find out what my IP address is and go back to Cloudflare and put in a rule to allow my access there. But other than that, nobody can get to those back-end sites without having my IP address. Can they spoof an IP address? Possibly. In fact, it is much easier to spoof this kind of IPv4 address than it is one of the IP version 6 addresses. But they've got to know what they're spoofing, and they've got to know to look for my account. So I just showed it here on a video, but that dynamic address is going to change. So it's not going to be the same one. And most hackers aren't really going to go to that much trouble. They'll just move on to the next website. What we're really doing here is eliminating probably 95 to 99% of the hackers that can't get in because I've blocked them because they don't have my IP address. So if we come over here to events, you can see that there's one from the United States that was blocked, and that's probably me. Nope, different website. There it is, Suburbia Press login. So yeah, I was trying to get in here and it blocked me. This one up here is my support site. So support.suburbiapress.com. So somebody else was just trying to get in, and they were trying to get into the WP admin and also admin Ajax. And their query string will also show you that here. They apparently know that there is a plugin called Better Links on that side because I'm using a tool for a knowledge base called Better Docs. It also uses that plugin. And they wanted to see if they could get in there using an action query. They didn't. They got blocked, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So it says right here they got blocked. Don't know who this was. Don't care. Don't want them on my site in the back end. And they never got to my server. They never got to my site. They got blocked at the DNS level. So how do you set this up? Well, let's go over here to Cloudflare. First, if you don't have an account, you can log in and register for free. It'll prompt you to what do you want. The first thing will be an application. You can skip that if you want to, but if you get to this home screen and you don't have any sites, you can click Add a Site. So I'm going to come over here to Namecheap, which is where I'm hosting my domains. And let's say that I want to add this one, Suburbia Live. And what I usually do is I just go ahead and copy this so I don't make any spelling mistakes. I'll come over here and I will paste this in. And then it'll take a moment and it'll start analyzing that site after we tell it what plan we want. Obviously, they want you to buy something, but we're going to come down here and select the free plan. That's what I've been demonstrating here so far. So right now it's scanning. It's going to bring in the DNS entries that it finds for this website. All right, so there's the DNS. You can see that I had this on a parking page at Namecheap. So I'm not making any changes here. I'm not worried about what these little things are. No certificate is basically what it's warning me because a parking page doesn't have a certificate. One of the advantages that you get with Cloudflare is it provides you with an SSL certificate. You can see it like right up here, and we won't go into that right now, but we're going to click Continue. So here's how you get your domain on Cloudflare. You have to change your name servers. So how do you do that? Well, I'll show you on Namecheap. Under my domain, name servers. GoDaddy will be a little bit different. Other registrars will also be a little different. What I want to do is I want to find a way to put in custom DNS name servers. So you can see name server 1, name server 2. There are always going to be 2. So I'll come over here and just click to copy. So I click this. I'll paste this one right here. I'll come over and get the second one. And again, I will put this right here. And the way to save it on Namecheap is to use that little green check mark. If you have a different registrar, it might have a box that says save or something like that. So I have to save it. Now, it takes a little while. And you can see this little notice. It may take up to 48 hours. That's what Namecheap is telling you. If we do this over on Cloudflare, it's going to say up to 24 hours. It might even happen faster than that. But basically what they're telling you is this doesn't happen right away. It has to propagate through DNS servers all around the world. Some will get there sooner than others. So now there's a quick start thing. improve your security. By default, this is on to redirect or rewrite your HTTP to HTTPS. So you're using secure HTTP. You just click save, move to the next one. Do you want to always use HTTPS? I recommend that you do. So we turn that on, click save. And then there's this compression. It's called Brotli, and it just speeds up your page load times. So you click save and you're done. Click finish. So you're not active on Cloudflare yet. As I said, it's going to have to propagate for a little while. You're already set up that when that propagation is done, you can go. So you can go down here to Scrape Shield. Hot link protection is off by default. I recommend you turn that on. You go to security. I would start at bots. Bot fight mode protection is on by default. Verify to make sure. And then you can go to your web application firewall rules. There's nothing there, but you can start adding rules based on what you want. If you want to add the rules that I showed for WordPress, go back in the video a little bit and you can add those same rules here. And that is just a quick look. Oh, don't forget, go over here. If you're blocking something and you need to get access, don't forget to put in a rule like this one. So you just go to ipaddress.com, find your IP address, and put it in this rule. And you want to say for all websites in my account, you could do it differently for each account website if you want to, but in my case, I don't see a reason to that. And you want to allow yourself. That's why you don't lock yourself out of your own system. As I said, if you travel someplace else or your dynamic IP address changes, just go get it from ipaddress.com and paste it in here. Either replace this rule or build a new one, and it'll let you in. All right, that's all I've got to share for right now. Think about your WordPress security. I think this is really a great tool. It is a free tool. If you need more services, there are paid options for it. This is going to do, like I said, 95 to 99% of the work for you. And you'll see what the results are by looking at the events for the past 24 hours. As I said, for Suburbia Live, I don't have any events over there. If I come down to, let's say, this website, Orlando Local, hot link protection, custom rules, I'm blocking a lot of people. Russian Federation blocked. It is working for you before they ever get to your site. They're not using your bandwidth. They're not using your server. And it's one less plugin that you need to worry about. I hope this is helpful to you. I will see you again in the next video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below.